This is Podco Media Networks.
Welcome back to the Glocal Citizens Podcast. We'll be spending the next 2 episodes with artist, photographer, and architect Asare Adjei. In part 1, Asare shares insights on the diverse ways that artists can capitalize on their creativity. In part 2, we talk global citizenship, migration, and Asare's sonic inspirations. Hi, Glocal Citizens. It's Florence Adjei, your host, and you're listening to the podcast that inspires a borderless mindset around doing something in the world. We're back in Ghana, in the city of Accra, and my guest today is Asare Adjei. He is an artist, a photographer, and an architect. Ghanaian via and by way of sometimes the UK. And I'm very happy to be sitting here with him in his studio space in a lovely garden. So Asare, take it away. Tell us more about you and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I have 3 containers, so to speak. I do art, where I paint, where I'm celebrating African culture and the diaspora. And the paintings are exhibited in galleries, and also I sell them also online. And then photography, I wear more of a photojournalist hat, and I find stories around the world that are interesting, and then I take pictures and offer them to magazines and newspapers that are interested in sharing the story. And I'm looking at possibility of taking that also into exhibition formats in 2020. And then architecture, I was an architect for 12 years. Now I've taken a step back from architecture. And when there's a project that's interesting, that is a project that maybe has more of a humanitarian spin to it and falls within the architecture and the building industry. And if that captures my attention, then I add to and I join and collaborate on those projects.
Okay. So you have 3 avatars at any given point, and it seems like they all kind of coalesce around expression.
Yes. I feel expression is the most important thing, especially as a creative person. It's our kind of superpower, so to speak. And we are here to express our views, our voice, our souls. And in that way, we awaken and teach each other lessons about life. So, expression is probably the link within all of them.
Mm-hmm. So we're in Accra now, but sorry, tell us where you're local. Where do you call your local space? And how did you come to live and play and work
So
there?
I worked my socks off to create this vibe where I get to be in Ghana for about maybe 3 to 6 months sometimes. And then I'll spend another maybe 3 months to 6 months in the UK. Sometimes I'll do 3 months in Ghana, then 3 months in the UK, come back to Ghana, do another 3 months, and then 3 months in the UK. The reasons, because when I'm here in Ghana, I get to create and paint, and I prefer being in Ghana to do so, because it's quieter, it's peaceful. So I come here and I paint my collection or my series. And then in the UK, it's more of a business time, so it's more marketing, having meetings, getting things planned. Shows, getting shows set up and everything. So Ghana is more my creation zone, and then the UK becomes more my selling zone, I guess.
So we have that in common. We're both bi-continental, splitting our time between our Western homes and here, our lovely Ghana.
Yeah, I actually want to explore that even more, and next year look at the possibility of spending time in Asia, in Bali. Mm-hmm. So I think the world is just home, to be honest, and and I try to live like that at the moment.
Home is where you find your soul settling.
Yeah, I think home is the whole earth, and our soul belongs in the whole earth and belongs in everywhere that we want to be. Yes, we have nationalism and all these different territories and stuff, but well and truly, the human being, earth is home. So wherever you're called to be, if you can make it work, why not? If you want to be able to spend time living and working in, Singapore for a couple of years and then come back to wherever you call home, that's fine. If you want to do a couple months somewhere and then come back and work somewhere else, it's fine. You get to create it as you want to. It's not easy, but yeah.
Yeah.
You just make it work.
Which is great segue into my Glocal Speak question.
Yeah.
So you have these two places that you, or anywhere in the world that calls home. So maybe this is for you, it's anywhere in the world where you kind of want to know what you hear where you are. So this question is where you tell me or you share a word, a phrase, or a saying that's a meaningful part of your local experience and why or how you came to value it as a Glocal Speak.
Yeah, my favorite word in Ghana is wahala. And I've taken it back to the West with me.
Yeah.
I guess Charlie and wahala, but wahala because wahala captures this intangible feeling. And the word is perfect for whatever expression you want to use it in.
Yeah.
You know, if you're stuck in traffic, it's wahala. If you're having a kind of a day that's a bit stressful, you're having a wahala day. I love that word. It captures that spirit of chaos, I guess.
I agree. I like Wahala as well. And it's like a song. And it's funny because one summer, a friend of mine, we did a song and it was all it was Wahala.
Yes.
Wahala, 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 Wahala.
And the person can be Wahala too, so that person is Wahala.
Exactly.
It's such a beautiful word that captures that vibe.
So is Wahala a true word?
I think so. Sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, because I hear Wahala also in Nigeria. So I feel like it came from Nigeria, actually.
Oh, wow.
So maybe it's a pidgin word.
Okay, it's a pidgin word.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to do some research on that one and find out what Wahala is.
Yeah, but I love hearing it. It's awesome.
Let's talk more about the business, right? Because everyone hears artist and they're like, okay, they think starving.
Yes.
Less so nowadays, right? Because there's so many different ways to be on platforms and to put yourself in a space of, you know. But you kind of hinted at how, you do your business in the Western world or Europe. Yeah. And you're more creative here.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about how you, first of all, come to the work of artistry. So that inspiration and then how you then translate that into commercial
So I'm going to offer different ways in which people can make money through art because, there's a lot of people listening now who are creatives and they're not sure about this. So in the old days, creatives, it was a struggle to do art. You needed a patron, somebody who would finance your craft, who buy your equipment and stuff, your galleries. It was kind of like, it was elitist as well. So, in the old days, people struggled. So, yes, there was this kind of stereotype about the artist being kind of like a struggling thing to do. But, when I first started off, yes, I was doing architecture, a very different industry. But, every time we were invited to come to art exhibitions, and number one, my mind was blown by how much creativity was out there. And also, just, how much galleries were available to artists. There's so many galleries now looking at so many different angles of art that as an artist, it's more like there is a surplus of galleries and, more, they need more artists, and there's collectors. There's people who, in the old days, people weren't so used to the idea of collecting art. But now, in this modern times, people see art as an investment. And a lot of collectors are looking at artists and they want to get in there really early when an artist is starting out so that they can purchase quite a few pieces and hopefully it's worth even more in the future. So you have a lot of collectors looking for art. There's a spike in African art. People are really interested in African art now. And loads of galleries are starting to spring up specifically catering to African art. And then they are looking for African artists. On the other side, if you are somebody who's, I mix it because also I'm entrepreneurial. So with my art, I have my own online store. And that's another aspect to explore where you have your own online store. You can quickly create on Shopify. You can add your art you can get these apps where you literally add your art to t-shirts, hooded tops, from chairs, tables, cushions, shower curtains, mobile phone covers. It's up to you how your limitations up to your own mind, what you want, how you see your art and what you want it to be. Some people a bit snobby about that. And in some ways, I understand that because galleries can be a little bit picky if your art is too overexposed. But as an artist, you can kind of manage that. And how I do is I have illustrations as well as paintings. So the paintings tend to go to the galleries, and the illustrations tend to be something I put on T-shirts, prints. It's a more
commercial.
So as an artist, you can explore which ones you want to make more commercial and which ones you want to make specifically for galleries. You might not even go the gallery route and just purely go on the entrepreneurial route. The beauty of that with the apps is that you don't have to look after fulfillment. The apps are generated to other businesses and they will take care of fulfillment for you. So you literally create your art, you put it on your T-shirts or whatever you want to have it on. And when somebody purchases it, it's printed and sent to that person. And if there's any exchange or any refunds or anything, the fulfillment company will look after that for you. So as an artist, it frees your location. I'm giving away some secrets.
Well, no, that's why we're here. We're here to share and let folks know how to.
So as an artist, it frees up your location. You don't have to be based in one city. You could be, in Germany, painting and drawing. Put your stuff onto your own online shop. Let the fulfillment companies look after it for you. I'm going to give you one fulfillment company to look at, Printful. And Printful does amazing. They have great quality T-shirts, hooded tops, all of that. And they'll look after all of the fulfillment for you. So, look at something like Printful, put your art on there. Then you have to just focus on the marketing aspect and getting your stuff to the right people, knowing your crowd, knowing who wants to purchase your stuff. And you could be in Bali doing that. And,
right, next stop,
and,
right?
When it's purchased, on a monthly basis, the money hits your account and you just have to manage because it's business. So you just look after how much stock you want and everything. The other aspect is you can also have Amazon shop. That's, I think, $25 a month. And with an Amazon store, again, it's going towards the whole world really shops on Amazon. And, the only problem with that is your T-shirt will be listed amongst other T-shirts, tons of other T-shirts. But again, it's about you kind of marketing your name and your style and your message. But Amazon shops are another great tool to use. So as an artist in these modern times, it's such a beautiful time to be an artist.
Right. It's not exclusive, a lot of, like you said, the snobbery and things like that. But I want to, first of all, check out the show.
You can go that way too, you can focus on the gallery, get gallery representation. Nothing wrong with that too. Because, again, that's something I've explored, group shows, all of that. And then, get galleries to represent you and then they'll sell to collectors. And with galleries, your art could be sold from £10,000 upwards, So it depends on what game. It's not a game, but it depends on what vibe you like. Mm-hmm. You can maybe focus purely on creating art for galleries and then sell 12 pieces at £10,000 each. Or even £20,000, £30,000 each. Yes, these prices are normal for galleries. In fact, they're cheap for galleries.
Right. So I guess that kind of speaks to, like you were mentioning, there's a new culture of collectors, right?
Yes.
So nowadays there's more collectors because there's more money.
Yes.
So and collectors are global.
Yes.
So when you hear about these auctions at Sotheby's where, pieces of art are going for these incredible amounts of money, it's because it's almost as though art is somehow democratized in a different way. Like it's for anybody and everyone. But the fact that there's so much new money.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, the idea that this is a different kind of investment.
Yes.
That makes for long-term wealth.
Yes. So collectors are also becoming younger.
Right.
So there's lots of young people making a lot of money out there in the world, through the internet and everything, apps, and from the creation of Twitters, the Googles, all of that. So there's a lot of young people out there who have money now. And they love art. And they also are looking into the idea of investing in art. Mm-hmm. So right now for me, it's a beautiful time to be an artist. It's a great time to be an artist. Yeah. But maybe it's not for everybody,
And I would say that it seems what's nice about a younger concept of art is that you also have different tastes. Mm-hmm. So obviously the museum pieces that we all know of, for the, classical museums are there. But now we have this space for contemporary art to just be expressed in so many different ways. Yes. And I wanted to take a step back and ask you a question.
I just wanted to add really quickly on one thing, sorry.
No problem.
Some people are like, I'm a black artist who my collector's really going to also support me.
Okay.
But again, there's a lot of black collectors out there, young black collectors who are also looking for art, from Swiss Beats with his Dean collection. You have so many other people who are now collecting art.
I mean, I think that's absolutely true. I mean, there's now art. I mean, there is ArtX. So ArtX was in Lagos, and that's a great marketplace. I just met so many interesting artists the last time I went. And that's a great platform for African artists to get their work out there. And then we have the Venice Biennial, which had a whole Africa pavilion.
Yes.
So
Ghana Pavilion.
The Ghana Pavilion, yes, exactly. So what were your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I thought it's a beautiful, beautiful achievement. Also, I used to work with David Adjaye actually, and we worked on a pavilion for Creativepool a long time ago. And so it was great to see him back, doing a pavilion. And again, just Ghana being represented on such a global world scale. And Ghana art being put on a beautiful pedestal. There's lots of other places in Africa whose art is being celebrated. So it's nice to see Ghana raise its profile for its artists too. So yeah, I just really loved it.
Yeah, it was made me very proud. Just watching it is something that's very amazing. Thanks for joining us for part 1 of Art, Architecture, and Affirmations with Asare Adjei. Please be sure to join us next week for what promises to be another wonderful conversation. And be sure to check out the show notes where you can find out more about a lot of the topics we talked about in our conversation and where you can find Asare's art. As always, you can catch us each and every Tuesday with new episodes at glocalcitizenspod.com and wherever you find podcasts. Bye for now.